Hello, how's it going? My name's Em, and today I'm going to play a bit of Gran Turismo on stream for you. We're going to try and race Nations Cup, FIA Nations Cup, and we're going to try and win. Well, I'm going to do my best to win, but it might be quite difficult, so we'll see how we go. If you don't know who I am a streamer and content creator. I'm mostly on Twitch. And I play all sorts of racing games, but I've especially focused on Gran Turismo for the last, I would say, couple of months. You may have seen me from World Tours. I competed at Tokyo in the Pro-Am race. I was just an Am driver, just doing my best, trying not to get punted out of the way. And I also competed in the Sydney World Tour in the Pro-Am race as well. But since then, that was like a really hard experience for me because I was driving near these amazing pro drivers, and I just got very jealous. So I thought I might as well give it a go myself. And I've been practicing since then. I've been doing lots of racing, winning a few races, getting beaten by some very good opponents. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, I stream. I used to be a race driver when I was a kid, but I've stopped as everyone knows, it's extremely expensive. So I just sim race now, and it's a lot more relaxing. So today we're going to be racing Spa Francorchamps in the wet. It's a pretty awesome track, made even more hectic with the addition of rain. It's very slippery, and often it's quite difficult to like find lines and do all sorts of driving things that are easy in the dry. I'm going to sign up to it now, but first of all, I'm just going to show you my car that I'll be driving. I drive for Audi in Manufacturer Series, so I figured, hey, why not? Let's drive it in Nations as well. So I'll show you my car really quickly. Excuse me. Yeah, so this is Audi. They're pretty good. You may have heard of them before. And I'm going to be racing the Audi R8 LMS in Nations today. The reason I'm picking this car is because it's an MR car, which means the engine's in the middle of the car, which really helps grip when mid-corner and exiting corners. And it's also really pointy. It's really nice to get into apexes compared to like a front-engined car. If you were driving like the BMW M8 or like the Nissan GTR, you would just have understeer like crazy on corner entry. But as it's an MR car, it'll tip in really nicely and we'll be like, you know, nailing apexes and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, that's why I'm picking this car. I've seen a couple of friends doing this race, and they're racing the Honda NSX and also the Porsche 911. They're all MR cars. So yeah, in the wet, even though it seems really slippery in the wet, like you're sliding all over the place, the main issue that you'll be facing is understeer. So the car just won't turn in. And that's why we're picking MR cars to deal with that. Cool, so signing up to the race. I'm just gonna make an entry now. I'm gonna use the livery that I run in manufacturers. So it's fairly common. It's like a green color. It's quite nice. I think it's good. So yeah, let's sign up. You click on Nations, and while you're here, you can, you know, psych yourself up, get ready. You can check your points. I'll show off my points. Where am I sitting in the series? I'm sitting 4th. There you go. That's like okay, I guess. In front of me, we've got some very good drivers. We've got Cody, McEwen, and Metal Gear. They're all former pro drivers in Gran Turismo, along with Matt as well, also a pro driver. So pretty good competition. They're pretty quick. Cool. so let's sign up. Race is in, how long we got? 8 minutes. Got a fair few choices here. So as I was saying before, some people are running the NSX, some people are running the Porsche, which is like down here somewhere. Down there. Metal Gear often runs the Hurricane, as that's his car and manufacturers. So yeah, there's a couple of options. I would just, if you're racing in the wet in Gran Turismo in Group 3, I would stay away from the front engine cars. So stay away from the Lexus, stay away from the M6, the GTR, all of those, the Atenza, etc. Excuse me. Okay, let's get to it. I'm gonna sign up and try and do a couple laps. I've got 7 minutes to get good, and then we have to go fast. Pressure's on. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I've been racing Gran Turismo for the last couple of months, and it's been an experience kind of coming through the ranks of like the splits. I started in like split 100. So my driver ranking, you'll see your DR. My DR was like very low. It was like C or something, or even D. But the more races you do, if you perform well, your DR goes up. And yeah, eventually it capped out at 75k, which was nice. And then it kept going a bit because they raised the cap. Yeah. And if you get a high enough DR and you perform well in races, you get to get an S rank as well, which you see up the top right. And the S rank just means that you're extra fancy. You can give like, you know, Gran Turismo your name and you appear on the website. It's very cool. Highly rate it. Okay. So for this car here, I'm driving it on manual. I'm racing a TGT. So in terms of like settings, these are my settings for the TGT. I don't know if they're good or not, but they do the job for me. Cool. I'm running with no assists, apart from ABS on default. In my previous experience sim racing, you always want to have ABS off, but in Gran Turismo, we found that ABS on is the best way to go. So if you're ever racing, ABS default, it's the way we do it. But of course, traction control off completely. Manual, and we're taking the heavy wet tyres. I don't know why we're not taking the intermediates. Just, I saw other people doing the heavy wet tyres, so I just copied what they were doing. I think these tyres have a little bit more grip, but who knows? Mystery. Okay, we've got 5 minutes to do some practice. Ooh, knock my mic out of the way. So I've done a bit of practice in time trial mode in Gran Turismo in this combination. And in TT there's no tyre wear and there's no fuel wear, which is great if you want to like have a level kind of surface to like kind of learn a track or a car off. But for this race it looks like it's going to be a bit of a tyre saving race. Apparently the rear tyres go off as the race goes on, so yeah. Basically, I have no idea how the rear tyres are going to go off. I guess we'll have to see if it's really slippery or not. So I'm just trying to remember how to drive again. So this track in the wet is like, honestly, it's really good. It's really fun. I'm having a lot of fun driving it, especially in this kind of car. The car slides really well. I have a couple of other race driver friends from way back, and everyone's a huge fan of the wet weather physics and GT. So it's good. If you've never driven this before, highly rate it. So I'll introduce two concepts that I'll probably be talking about a fair amount in this race that I'm going to do. So I'll kind of introduce it, and when you hear me talking about it later on in the race, it'll make sense. I won't sound like I'm insane. I'll actually be referring to something. The two keys to this track, peace sign, trail braking and weight transfer. I'm finding myself. Those are the two main things I'm working on to really get this car around here fast. So if you're struggling, if you're not sure what to work on, I would focus on those two things first. So trail braking is where you keep a little bit of brake on all the way towards the apex. So you're watching to turn one, La Source. We hit the brakes hard, and then as we turn in, we get off the brakes, but we keep a little bit on all the way to the apex of the corner. It's kind of uncomfortable the first time you do it, but it's really important in Gran Turismo, more than a lot of other sims I've found. Gran Turismo really rewards trail braking. So whenever you're kind of turning into a corner, leave a little bit of brake on all the way to the apex. It really helps the car turn just a little bit more. So yeah, very useful. Into Lake Room, just a little bit towards the apex. Yeah. The other thing that I was saying is weight transfer. And I kind of touched on earlier when I said we're all picking MR cars, mid-engined cars for this kind of race. And it's to do with the weight coming off, or like on and off the car as you're driving. So the Audis, it's kind of counterintuitive, but basically whenever I'm getting off the throttle, the car wants to rotate. So if I turn into here, off the throttle, it's going to turn, and then when I get back on the throttle again, it sits down and grips. Apart from wheel spin, if you wheel spin it, it's going to keep sliding. So basically we brake, we trail brake. As we're off the throttle, it kind of turns, and then we get back on the throttle. I'm sliding it through here, so it's not a great example, but maybe I'll show it here. So we're off the throttle, turn it in, and as soon as it's pointed in the right direction, you get back on the throttle and it grips again. Takes a while to get your head around it, but it's really important in the wet here through Blanchiment and Eau Rouge. So the next corner is called Blanchiment, and it's all about, I find, lifting, letting it rotate, and then back on the throttle, and it just grips up on exit. So there you go. So yeah, I feel like if you're working on those two things, if you're trail braking, and if you're managing the weight of the car, well, you'll be killing it. You're gonna get P1. You know, you'll be the next Igor Fraga or Carl Zell. You'll be number one. Maybe not, but you'll be pretty good. Cool. Time to stop talking like a crazy person and into this race. Pretty stacked field at the front, but it sort of drops off a little bit around the top of the top 10. I'm gonna take a drink. Cool, so everyone's running the NSX because they're all conformists. We're gonna run the R8 because we're rebels. And also GT Sport Penalty's running a GTR, that's amazing. Running an FR car, that is extremely bold. Cool. So as we enter the server, I like to check the points, see what we're getting first. 257 for a win. That's like not super great for top split Oceania. We want to get around 300 points. But yeah. I'll talk you through them later, but basically I can see 2 pro drivers in this field already. Psydog and Mint Matt are pro Gran Turismo players, drivers, athletes, esport athletes. So yeah, racing them is going to be pretty difficult. Oh, great. So, cool. So these two, I think, figured out the last race that I was recording. So they've got matching liveries for their NSXs. And they're all over the place. It's wonderful. So we've got 30 seconds left in warm-up, time to weave, do a big skid just to assert our dominance going into the race. Show them who's boss. Actually, we're not the boss. What a nice livery. Well done, guys. So now we just do the customary donuts. The more donuts you do, the more likely you are to win the race. So just remember that. It's very important. Alright, so we're leaving pit lane for qualifying. Make sure to hold the throttle down, so as soon as your car can go, it goes. Basically, if you're not on the throttle, maybe your car will never leave pit lane, and you'll be stuck there forever. Maybe. Okay. So we've got 10 minutes of qualifying to set a lap here. The way it works is that there is no fuel burn, so fuel is not an issue. We do not have to pit or fuel burn or anything, but tyre wear is a thing. So the tyres are going to wear, which means we want to be kind of gentle on this outlap. Try not to do any donuts like we were just doing before. Cool. So often in Gran Turismo, actually in a lot of racing, but especially in Gran Turismo because the times are often very close, it's important to get a draft in qualifying. A draft is like a slipstream. By standing or driving behind another car, you actually go faster in a straight line. And for a lot of tracks, it's incredibly important to get a slipstream. We raced manufacturers here on the weekend, and in the Group 4 car, if you don't get a slipstream here, you're going to qualify like last. So in a lot of tracks, qualifying is all about navigating the pack and trying to draft off somebody important. But in the wet, not so much. Just slippery, so just go as fast as you can. So I'm driving fairly quickly, but I'm trying not to slide the tyre at all. Just driving it in straight. Driving it out straight. So yeah, I've learned a fair bit racing Gran Turismo for the last couple of months, but there is a lot that I don't know. So if I say anything and you know, if any of the pro drivers are watching and you're like, that's not how you do it, I'm sorry, I don't mean it. I've learned as much as I can, but there's a lot to learn. So we're going to give ourselves a really big gap here to this group because I'm scared that I'm going to catch them. And I nearly got rear-ended. That's fantastic. Right, let's get it. I'm actually gonna not talk during this qualifying lap because I need to focus. So I'll be back in a sec. It's too tight. You know what? Lap's ruined. Damn it. Okay, cool. So we've smacked the apex at turn 1. I think we're gonna get 2 goes at this, so we might as well just finish the lap and then bank it. Eau Rouge is normally flat out in these cars, so in the wet, it's a real big lift, which makes that corner so much fun. Let's brake at 125, down a second. About just controlled slides. Lap's been like okay after turn 1, but nothing like too special, I would say. Nah. Okay, we're good. Right, well, we banked it. Considering we were like literally in the fence at turn 1, I will take that. 33.8. Yeah, that's pretty swift. Another thing to be aware of, this will be a rolling start, this race. And at Spa, the rolling starts. The start happens very early on the main straight. It's the F1 main straight where like the Formula 1 cars start. Which means that if you like start the top 4, you'll be okay, you'll be on the main straight. But if you're starting like 5th or 6th or anywhere back, you'll actually start on the chicane. So you'll actually be turning when the green light goes, and that's very not good. You'll be like multiple seconds off by the time you get down to the source. So it's very important qualifying at Spa to place yourself up the front. Yeah. So we're gonna get one more shot at this lap. We've got to find 1.3 seconds to get pole. I don't think I have it in me, but I think I definitely have a bit more. I really don't know. It's a mystery. We're about to find out. This guy's on a lap, so I don't know why he pulled out. Ooh, slide. car behind me left pit lane at the same time that I did, so I don't need to get out of their way. Alright, let's give ourselves some more room. Go for it. One more shot. Wasn't the most committed through a Rouge, but should be there or thereabouts. I really wanted to get the exit out of that corner. It's important to set the run up for the straight, but not amazing. Big commitment through Blanchimont. Missed the apex. Damn. Alright, moved up one spot. I do not think I could have found another 7/10 though. That is quite quick. So I was pretty happy with that, like that second lap. If we have a think about where there was more time on the table, I think turn one was bueno, but Eau Rouge maybe not so good. I think there was at least another 10th or two in Eau Rouge. Just getting the run up ready on, really good. Eau Rouge is turn two, by the way, if you're not aware. Otherwise, going down the hill was quite good. Lecum was good. No Name was good. Puan was... I probably could have gotten a little bit harder into Puan, which is the long left-hander, midway around the lap. And I might have been able to go a little bit quicker into the chicane after that as well. I reckon there was another 10th in the exit onto that long back straight. And I reckon there was at least 2 or 3 tenths at Blanchimont as well. Maybe not 2 or 3, maybe like 2. So you know what? Actually, maybe we could have gone 7 tenths faster. But if I did go 7 tenths faster, that would be like... I would be going fast. It'd be a zinger of a lap, I tell you what. So qualifying's completed. I've just been confirmed 3rd place. Nobody went faster. So now we wait. Cool. So we have 60 seconds till this race starts, and this is a good time to just think about what you've done. And also time for some last minute, trash talk. My favorite one, which I don't recommend to anyone, is saying want to go to the lobby. We'll say you're faster, fella. He is fast. My favorite thing about Gran Turismo text is that it's sometimes hard to tell if it's genuine or not. My favorite one is thanks for the clean driving. It can mean either good or bad things. Alright, let's do it. If that doesn't get you hyped, nothing will ever get you hyped. I wish I had an Australian flag ready to go. Cool, so fella off P1. P2 is Mint Matt Simmons. You'll see him in the World Tour, one of Australia's best drivers. In third is me. I'm fuel burning at the moment. In fourth is Cy Bishop, another one of our World Tour representatives. He's from New Zealand. He's very quick. And fifth is Ranger. He's also really quick. He's a good egg. And then the rest, Ironmask is quite nice as well. And some good drivers in the rest of the field. So in this race, we're not going to run out of fuel. So everyone is fuel burning at the moment. And what that means is that while we're waiting, everyone's holding the brake down. And we're all holding the throttle at maybe 20% throttle, I want to say. And this means that the revs will be not on the limiter, but like high up. And that's the way to burn the most fuel, apparently. If all of that didn't make sense, just hold the throttle like down because it sounds cool while you wait. So yeah, this will be an interesting start. We are starting in between two World Tour competitors. I know Matt did an earlier race today, so he's quite quick. And fella in the lead won the first split that we had, so we'll have to see. Okay, I think the key is to not let fella get away and not let Matt get away as well. I think our car will wear rear tyres more than they will as well, so let's just try and keep it straight, try not to wear the tyres out. Okay, we're off. So cold tyres into turn one, we're going to brake really early here. If you're unsure into turn one, I say get on the brakes at like 50%, way earlier than you normally are. And if everyone else is braking, get to 100%, but if no one else is, you can get off the brake a bit. It's just trying not to get a penalty down here on lap one. Okay, all clear. Sai started on the chicane, and as you can see, we've already pulled like 1.3 seconds on him, so that's some really bad luck that he got. I really want Matt to have a go for the lead. if they start fighting, they will slow down a bit and give us a shot at it. That's a big slide. Oof. Okay, focus. On lap 1, full fuel. No. That was a little bit wide, we might get a penalty for that. Looks like we got away with it though. Yeah, careful on the throttle. Alright, 1 down, 10 to go. Seems like we're just lacking a little bit of pace at the moment compared to this front too. And size caught up a little bit as well. That inner sex just seems really quick. I love how committed we are over Eau Rouge though. Right, it's on for the lead. Fella's defending. Doink the inside curb. I really feel like eating chicken right now and I just don't know why. So trying to keep with him, but I'm really trying not to slide this car because we want to keep these tyres intact the whole race distance. We're trying to buy a ticket to the end when the fight gets really hectic. We want to have our tyres left to be able to fight. Both running it in pretty deep, so they're obviously pushing. Nice and smooth. Please excuse my serious face as well when I'm concentrating. Interestingly enough, they're both on the brakes through these high-speed corners, whilst I've been finding just lifting's been enough to get my car turned in. So my livery that I'm running is like my own livery. I think it's really cool. They all got better runs out of Eau Rouge, or riding on that time. let's go. Let's chase him down. Don't let him get away. I've had some fun fights with Fella this season so far. I've found him to be a really fun driver to race against. He's been extremely quick recently. And fights extremely hard. But he's clean as well. I pulled one of my favourite moves ever on him at Lago Maggiore in round 1. And he could have chopped me and we could have both died. That's going to be a penalty. Oh my goodness, Emery, what are you doing? Saw that one coming. Alright, big sends. Big lap times. Let's do this. Opening up a little bit of a gap on me. I feel like he's braking later than I am. Maybe. Alright, let's try and get Blanchimont right this time. We've messed it up a few times. In. How have I not gotten away with a penalty so far? Yeah, he's just got an edge on me. So 1.6 seconds is around the draft length in Gran Turismo. So it means if the car behind is within 1.6 seconds, they're going to be benefiting from the draft. So Sire's still in my draft, but I'm not in Fella's draft, which is not good for us. No Audi. Bad. Bad Audi. No slide. Slide bad. No slide bad. Brakes through this section of the track. Alright, we broke the draft. It's good. Fella is really good out of the bus stop. Alright, let's focus. Keep hitting our marks. 5 more laps to go. Big slide. Calculated. Starting to do that thing where it points in the direction that I don't want it to point in. I'm sorry I'm not talking much, I'm just like really focused. This track in the wet requires a bit of concentration. Right, gap's still 1.8 to the car behind. We're not going to catch Fella, but I want to beat Cy and Matt. They're both incredibly quick. They've come into this race, I think, just for fun, with very little practice, but oh my god, they're both incredibly swift drivers. Wait, now we've got 5 laps to go. Do we? I don't know, I can't count. My brain doesn't work good, I'm too focused. So it's around this part of the race that apparently the tyres just go off. I'm just waiting for them to cliff on me. So in my experience racing Gran Turismo the last couple of months, in terms of tyre wear, it's quite similar to real life in how the tyre wears. The first lap of a new tyre is like always the quickest. Nice apex, you idiot. Okay. I find the first lap's always the quickest, but then after that the tyre kind of plateaus, like it kind of holds a certain amount of grip until it cliffs. And we call it the cliff because it's like it falls off a cliff, basically, in terms of grip. And I feel like the tyres are just about to cliff on you. Maybe soon. You'll probably be able to tell. It'll be a dramatic difference in the grip that I have available. Now we have 4 laps to go. There we go. I can count, sort of. So I'm running brake bias -5, so it's all the way to the front. And that's because I'm just trying to look after the rear tyres at the moment. So I don't want any wear on the rear tyres, so I'm putting no bias to the rear. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's what I'm doing. No. Bad Audi. Don't do that. Yeah, it's starting to cliff on me. A couple more laps though. So another tip for the Audi R8 if you're learning to drive this car, I touched on it earlier when I said like throttle on adds grip, and basically that's true. So adding a little bit of throttle, not a lot, but just a tiny bit, really kind of sits the rear of the car down and makes it grip the track. And what we do is sometimes we use it while we're braking, and that's called throttle braking. So it's when you're braking, but you've got a little bit of throttle on, throttle braking, throttle braking. And I tend to only use it in the Audi at really high wear kind of situations, where the rear tires are just really letting go on me, and I'll use it at high speed corners. So we might start doing a bit of throttle braking here as our rear tires go. Weirdly enough, the car's still stopping really well. It just hasn't got the mid-corner grip. Slide. Oh, Audi, you're so slippery. Right, so I think we try a bit of throttle braking, especially going down the hill here. So, fourth, third, second. Just keep a little bit of throttle on. No. no, Sire's spun. Alright, we've got 7 seconds to that. Okay. Should probably get a little bit less aggressive on the throttle, but that's okay. I'm sweaty. It is the middle of winter in Australia right now, and I'm just like sweating right now. It's very gross. Okay, so it's extremely slippery now. Very slippery in the rear. The car's quite unbalanced at the moment. It's got a lot of oversteer. So just consolidate the position and bring it home. Kind of like fizzled out into a bit of a lonely race for us. Hey, it was very stressful at the start, but it kind of very much quietened it down. But that's all good, I think. throttle brake it to bring it home. Just trying to be very smooth. Slide, maybe. Not a victory slide, a second place slide. Time for the drift outie. Oh no, wait. That was not good. Maybe drift through this corner. Drift. Cool. Whoa! Those rear tires, hey. There we go! Second place! Like, that was okay. Hard work. Oh, it was very close between Matt and Ranger at the end as well. Only 0.2 of a second between them. So very close finish. Whew. I don't even know what to say, I'm just so tired. It's a difficult one. Second place. Yeah, go team. Go us. We did it. P2. Best thing about coming second is I get to throw a peace sign whenever I can. P2, P2. Cool. Now we need to be very nice when we say thanks for the race, and then we at everyone we raced. Cool. Well, that was that one. Nice and fun, quick. And let's see where it sits us in the points at the moment. So my points, if we have a look at them. What? Hold on. What am I doing? There we go. So as of right now, it's taking your top 5 rounds, and my lowest points is 282. So I need to get above 282 to make it worth it. I only got, what, 246 that race, so not so good. But yeah, otherwise, thanks so much for watching. I really did hope you enjoy it. You should race this yourself, and you know what you should do? You should sign up for Audi, because you gotta help me make it to a world tour. We're currently sitting 14th in the standings, and often when if there's a world tour, if that happens, it's the top 12 that go. So we need a bit more points. So I'm requesting your help, everyone. Help me out. Yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. It was really fun. Give this a go yourself. Nations is always a meme. You can follow me on Twitch. Search for Emery, E-M-R-E-E. I'm streaming all sorts of racing games, and you can find me on Twitter as well, Emery. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Best of luck in your own races, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.